work start. Okay. So here we have our wonderful Exam Pro calculator work, which I've marked. But you know, I don't fix everyone's work. I just fix and give little hints. And thank you to Ella for always doing the corrections and showing me them. You don't need to do that because we're going to correct as we go over it in the video, and I upload it to YouTube. All the microphones need to go off. Okay, you must mute yourselves, all of you, because I'm getting background noise on our video. So here's question 1. We're to solve this equation. So in order to do it properly, you should take the 11 over and add. Yeah, it's a 2-step equation. That's why it's 2 marks for GCSE. So 5W minus 11 is 24. So 5W is 24 plus 11. So 5W is 35. So to isolate the W on its own, you take the 5 over and divide. So W equals 35 divided by 5. So W is 7, 2 marks. Right? 2-step equations, we've done them, even in year 7. Now, in this expression, X stands for the number of jumpers, and they cost £15 each. If I was to buy 6 jumpers, it would be 6 times 15. If I was to buy X jumpers, it would be X times 15, or 15X. Same with the shirts. Each shirt costs £12. I'm going to buy Y of them, £12 each. So the final answer is 15X plus 12Y. Okay? This one was badly done. X plus X is in fact 2X. Y times Y is not 2Y, it's Y squared. I didn't mind if you were typing and you wrote down Y2. I know what you meant, all right, but I still gave you the mark for it. So 2X, because X plus X is 2X, plus, there's my plus there, Y times Y is Y squared, all right? This is me doing a rectangle. Some of you put the rectangle up there. You did. Doesn't matter where you put it, as long as it's got to be a rectangle, and it must have an area of 12 centimetre squares. As you can see, mine is a 4 by 3 rectangle. Some of you did it up here, still 4 by 3, doesn't matter. So different answers follow. So from my one, my coordinate C is 7, 2. And my coordinate D is 3, 2. There it is, I've got 4 marks. If you put it up here, then that will be 3, 8, and that one would be 7, 8 if you put it up there. Okay, so that's permissible. 4 marks for that. Question 3. You've got to make use of the grid because too many of you made mistakes because you didn't use the grid. So A is the point 29. So I plotted it straight away, 29, there it is. B is the point 65. So I plotted it, there it is. Now you've got to read this really carefully. The line A, B, C is completely straight. And I know that from A to B, and the distance from A to B is the same as the distance between B and C. So I've got to work out how many squares I go across here and make sure it goes from B to C exactly the same. So there it is, the position of C. Again, you've got to think about it. So if you like, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4 squares diagonally across. 1, 2, 3, 4 squares diagonally across. And if you have that sort of thinking, you get the coordinate of 10, 1. 10 along, 1 up. 2 marks. The farmer's fence. This gave you a headache, didn't it? A post is one of these little vertical things. So I've got 1 there and 1 at the end, and so how many in the middle? A beam is this little part that goes across here, yeah? The top and bottom, top and bottom, top and bottom, etc. The whole length from here to here is 2,700 centimeters, yeah, or 27 meters. How many beams and posts are in the fence? Well, let's take a good look. Let's do the easy bit first. Hello, Hudson. You're a bit late. Do take yourself off the video if you would. Thank you. So I've got how many beams? Well, if I divide this entire length by 180, I'll see how many 180s fit within the 2,700 length, all right? So if you divide, you get 18 sections. I've called it sections. So the length from there to there is 2700 chopped up into 15 sections. But the beams is more than just one long section. It's whatever 15 is, and it's doubled because you've got one top, bottom, one at the top, the bottom, one at the top, bottom, going all the way across the length of that fence. So don't forget to multiply your 15 by 2 to get 30 of these beams. Now the posts cause a lot of trouble. If there are 15 of these sections, then you've got to have at least 15 posts. Many of you forgot that there's a post at each end. So if you count across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 15 sections, you will reach the last post, won't you? There'll be 15 posts minimum, but you're starting from post number 1. So here I go. Even if I go one section across, bam, how many posts have I got? I've got 2 posts, haven't I? So many of you forgot to add on the post right at the beginning or the one right at the end. There are 16 posts, and that you have to think about, all right? You have to think about that. 16 posts. Part B. This is very, very easy substitution into a given formula to find the cost of creating that fence, buying it and having it put up. Now the cost is 5 times the number of beams and 9 times the number of poles. Now I've got 40 beams for this particular fence and I've got 21 posts. Have you noticed it's not 40 and 20, it's 40 and 21 because there's one at each end. Here, this is clever now, it's not 30 and 15 but 30 and 16 because you've got one at each end. Alright, so if you take your clue from there, if you got the 16 wrong, it's easy to get it wrong, hard to see. So what's the cost of buying a fence with 14 beams and 21 posts? Well, I've got 5 times 40 because it's 40 lots of £5, and 9 times 21 because every post costs me £9. So I'm going to put the numbers in. 5 40s are 200, 9 21s are 189. Of course, this is a calculator paper. Add up these 2 parts for the beams and the posts. The whole fence will cost you £389. It's pretty realistic. Now, question 5, I think, is the last question, or isn't it? Yes, it is. Question 5 is the last question. So let me try and display it in one spread. So points A and B are shown. Okay, there's A, there's B. First of all, 2 cheat marks. And some of you got this wrong because you were not careful. The point A is -3, -5. X comes before Y. So go 3 to the left, 5 down. So A is -3, -5. B is 2 across and 3 down. 2 minus 3. 2 cheap marks. Here is part B. Listen carefully because many of you got this wrong. You weren't careful in your reading. You're in a hurry to finish and do I don't know what. Don't be in a hurry with GCSE questions. Do not be in a hurry with your work. You need to get it right to the best of your ability. Don't make errors because you didn't read it carefully or you're in a hurry to do something else. Don't do that. So the point C on the grid has got an x coordinate less than the x coordinate of A. Now, some of you misunderstood negative numbers. The x coordinate of A is -3, which means the x coordinate of point C is going to be something like -4 or -5 or -6. It's going to track more to the left, all right? Not to the right, because -2 is not smaller than -3. It's bigger than -3. It's becoming more and more and more positive as you go to the right. So I'm looking for a coordinate that's got an x value of less than -3 and the y coordinate has got to be positive and it's got to be even, right? So I'm looking at less than -3 and vertically positive upwards and even. And these are all the possible answers. -4 is less than -3 and 2 is an even number. So I could have -4 2, -4 4, -4 6. Now I've come off the scale, so you could avoid that one. But if you actually labelled that C, then I'll be, all of these are potential C's. -5 is definitely less than -3. So you can have -5 2, -5 4, minus 5, 6. You can go as far as minus 6 if you want to, because minus 6 is less than minus 3. Yeah? Minus 6, 2, minus 6, 4, and minus 6, 6. There's your 9 possible answers. But these 4 here are the best ones, because they're definitely within the grid themselves. Is that all right? Now let me close this off, then we can take questions if you feel you need to.